In the Lifetime original movie Abducted at an HBCU, a black girl missing movie. These titles are so strange. We watch a fictionalized story of a young woman who gets kidnapped and unfortunately almost lost to the trafficking system. So to summarize the film, at a fictional HBCU, historically black college or university named Arrington, Shannon has recently transferred from a local community college, and so far, her grades have been good. Mind you, this is despite her being on her own, her mom and dad not being around, and having no other family. On top of that, she doesn't seem to have notable financial support either, which is also complicating her life. Thankfully, a woman named Miss Ellen, who's her advisor, looks out for her. But a person can only do but so much, and with there being certain rules and beliefs in place, which is supposed to create boundaries from staff getting too close to students, Shannon almost gets lost to the system as a man named King seduces her and begins the process of breaking her so that he can traffic her. So, getting to the review portion, the first highlight for us is that when it comes to this film, it definitely gives you a sense of how people become victims or survivors, if you want to use that term. And it pretty much breaks it down from an issue with your community in terms of Shannon's professor when she's absent for some amount of days, not taking note, just writing off as another kid that dropped his class or maybe dropped out of school. Then you have her friend named Alex, who because of paralysis over analysis ended up not doing nothing, reaching out to Miss Ellen or any other body. And then not to victim blame, but you also to at some point have to blame Shannon. Yeah, King, who's a kidnapper, seems like a nice guy, but he's still a stranger. He's still someone who's fishing out information that would allow you to come off as a potential prey, whether it's asking about who you usually talk to, who are you usually with, and of course Shannon, because there's multiple intelligences, so she might be book smart, but apparently she's street stupid. She decides to give out information about her parents, that Miss Ellen might be perhaps the only person that's actively in her life, and with her being a staff member, and King probably knowing that, like Shannon's professor, a lot of them could be very, whatever when it comes to kids not meeting deadlines or showing up for appointments. Again, not the victim blame, but she sets herself up for a very terrible situation. And the film even goes into how people like King break those like Shannon by taking away their hope. And it's devastating to watch in a way, but in all situations, a lot of it may deal with society and culture, but there is some part of it where you have to recognize that something probably told you that I should leave, I should get away from this person, situation, whatever. And if you don't listen to that, you better hope you get another sense of intuition that could possibly get you out of the situation you ended up in. Now, while the film does a lot of good things in terms of showing how somebody becomes a victim, never mind what happens when someone is a victim, unfortunately, the tone of this film can feel a little bit off. I mean, the casting is good, the performances, I would say, are alright, and it definitely gives you a sense of how men like King wear down women like Shannon and give you a sense of how survival can be very challenging, but something seems off. It's like there should be a darker tone to this, something that really is has you gripping something and maybe crying, but I don't know. I don't know if it's because Ellen is a Marine and she goes like Rambo to a certain degree in order to try to find and rescue to find and rescue Shannon or something else, but tonally this film just feels off in a way that as much as you get the message and the point behind it, in terms of this journey that you go on, there's stumbles along the way that kind of take you out of it. Despite that issue, Overall, while Abducted at a HBCU, a black girl missing movie, might not have the tone needed to take the full story seriously, there's no denying from the performances to the intentions behind the project, the message is clear and also it's also in the message is delivered.